Here, so we're here to talk about something called a director's service address. Sounds complicated. I know there's other services around, but director's service address, what exactly is it? And is it a term? Have we just made that term up? Where's that term come from? Who's invented that?
So, under UK company law, as a company, as a limited company, you need to have a registered company address.
Okay.
And that company will have directors.
Yes.
And those directors will need a director's service address or a director's correspondence address.
Okay.
A director's correspondence address is the address that any given director will elect an address in which to receive their correspondence relating to their role as a director within the company.
Right. Because from my understanding, you can get directors within companies, but you also get something called secretaries, and there's lots of different roles that you can have under a limited company.
That's right. So they are not directors; they are secretaries.
Okay.
Or maybe a person with significant control of the company.
Yes, we've heard that.
Okay. All of those people, secretaries, directors, persons with significant control, will all need to have an address, so that Companies House can send their official mail to them to that address. That's disclosed publicly, that is on the public domain. We consider that all of those to encompass the director's service address.
That's the term that is used.
That is the generic term that we use,
right.
In order to make sure that any mail that we receive gets handled in the proper and correct way.
Right, okay.
So we use the term director's service address or director's correspondence address, and that is the address that they choose to receive their mail relating to their role as a director within that company. Okay. So the company address, the registered company address, that could be one address. The director's correspondence address or director's service address could be a completely different address. They don't need to be the same.
They are two separate things.
Two separate addresses.
Right. Okay.
Often the same.
Okay, just for convenience.
For convenience.
But it doesn't have to be.
Correct. So in one example, you might choose to have one of our locations as your registered company address, but choose to have your correspondence address for your directorship, your home address perhaps.
Okay.
Or vice versa. It might be that you choose to have your registered company address as your accountant's address, and your director's correspondence address, one of our locations.
Just to suit your setup, your unique circumstances.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So they don't need to be the same. Like I said, they often are, and we're obviously very happy to handle that mail in accordance with the company and the directorship, depending on what your needs and requirements are.
Sure. Okay.
But they are two distinct services. Because the director's service address is often taken out in conjunction with the registered company address, we have a particular package that deals with that.
Fine, okay. Like a bundle almost.
A little bundle which provides better value for money.
Yes.
Because it is often the case that there will be a company with a single sole director.
Yes.
That is a fairly standard setup for a small business.
Okay.
In which case we have a bundle particularly catered for those clients that afford them better value for money.
Okay. And does this apply to me if I'm a sole trader?
If you're a sole trader, you don't need a limited company. So no, you would not need a director correspondence.
None of that is applicable to me.
None of that is applicable.
So we've got our director's service address. We're using it for our directors. Great. Can I use it on my website? Can I use it on my digital signature strips, things like that? Is that allowed?
Yes, it's allowed. I'm not sure why you do that.
Okay.
But yes, I don't think there's any legal reason why you cannot disclose what your director's service address is on your website, but that wouldn't be the norm. You wouldn't ordinarily do that. What you would do, and in fact, what is a legal requirement, is to disclose your registered company address on your website.
Okay.
And certainly in your terms and conditions, so that it can be clear where your official correspondence needs to be sent by Companies House, by HMRC, and so forth.
And so, because backtrack into another. That's a different type of product, isn't it? I think.
So that's right, and this is often gets confused.
Okay.
The registered company address,
Which is also a registered office address.
which is the same as a
Same-
registered office address,
same thing.
interchangeable. Registered company address, registered office address, the same thing.
Okay.
Is the address that the company, the official address, the statutory address that the company will use to receive all their official correspondence from Companies House and HMRC.
Right. Okay.
Not to be confused with the director's service address, which is the address that the director of the company or directors of the company will elect as the address to receive their correspondence relating to their role as a director of that company.
Okay.
In many cases, they are the same address
For convenience.
for convenience,
Okay.
but they do not need to be the same address. Company address could be one address, in this case, one of our locations, and the director's service address could also be one of our locations, or it could be a different address.
Okay.
Perhaps the home,
accountants
or accountants, or
whatever.
bookkeeper, or whatever. We have a package for one company and one director, which provides economies of scale because that is a fairly common setup.
Okay.
Or for a larger company with multiple directors, they would prefer to choose a different arrangement, whereby they use one of our locations as their company address and perhaps their home as the director's correspondence address. But what's important, and what should always be remembered, is that this information is publicly available.
What is the
The
director's service
company
address?
and the director's service address.
Right. Okay.
So whatever address the company and the director discloses to Companies House is made publicly available.
Okay. Okay. So
And-
anyone can see that.
Anyone can see that. It's immutable. It can be changed but not removed.
Sure. Okay.
So if you've elected your home address, do so with caution, because once you've disclosed your home address on a public register, it's then very difficult to remove.
Okay. But you can remove it.
You can remove it in special circumstances, yes,
Fine, but it's not easy. It's not a button click.
but it's not a button click. So I would always say just be wary, to stop and think and take a moment to decide where exactly you want your company address to be, and also where you want your director's service address to be, because it's, like I said, made publicly available.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay.